Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria, and today we're going to be talking about heroes who fall first, who are so incredibly smitten and in love with their heroines, and who are just incredibly devoted to them. But they are all ones that are make the first moves in the relationship, or make their feelings known first, or are heavily invested in the relationship from early on. I hope that makes sense. These are all heroes who I freaking love. I think that this trope is like super romantic, and I love seeing it in books because I love a hero who knows what he wants, who is and not like, these are not going to be ones like darker romances. They're all pretty lighthearted romances, and they're all ones that the hero is just so in love. So the first one that I have that works perfectly with smitten heroes is Smitten by Lauren Rowe. This book is a rock star romance about a guy named Fish who is part of a very popular band, but he is kind of the forgotten one. He's not conventionally attractive, and he is just known for being in this band, and all he wants is for someone to love him the way that he is and for who he is as a person, and not as Fish from 22 Goats. And he meets Alessandra, who is exactly that, somebody who is just so sweet and loves him for him and not because he's Fish from this very popular band. And he, almost from like first meeting, really likes Alessandra, and she and him fit each other so well. They complement each other, and also encourage each other in the things that they're most vulnerable about or insecure about. And Fish is just so deeply invested in Alessandra and in their relationship and pursuing their relationship and wanting to be with her, and it's so cute. He's such a sweetheart, and he's one of my all-time favorite heroes. I always say that I think that if I could choose any book to be made into a movie, it would be this one, and I also would love a relationship like this for me in real life. The next one that I have is Rafe by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This is a buff nanny romance. That's literally what it says on the front. Rafe is a very large tattooed man, and he's a nanny, and he doesn't look like he should be a nanny, but he's very good with children, and he's a nanny, and he wants to get out of being a nanny, like change careers. But he gets a call from a woman who is incredibly desperate. She really needs a nanny. She's recently divorced, and she has twin daughters, and she's a doctor and very busy. So he accepts the job and he moves in with them. He becomes their live-in nanny. But when she is hiring him for the first time, like doing the interview before she hires him, he literally speaks to her out loud and is like, I just need to let you know before you hire me that I find you incredibly attractive. And I love it. I love him and his, he doesn't hide his feelings or his intentions. He very much, especially in a work relationship, he needs to let her know, he wants to let her know before she hires him that this is something that he feels. This is the way that he feels. And it works so well in their relationship. She, after this divorce, really needs somebody to pursue her and find her attractive. And Rafe does it so well and is so good at making her feel so good. Then the next one that I have is Love in the Wild by Emma Castle. This is one of my favorite books. It is a wild man romance. It is a Tarzan retelling. Thorn is our Tarzan character. He has grown up basically being raised by animals in Africa after a plane crash when he was younger that he doesn't really remember. The heroine's name is Eden, and she is a photographer who comes on a trip to Africa, and she and a bunch of other, I think, photographers are getting a tour when they are attacked by bad men, and all of the other people in the tour are killed, and Thorn rescues Eden and kills all the bad men. And he rescues her and he takes her back to where he lives, and he doesn't speak well. He doesn't understand human interaction, human emotions. He doesn't understand being human. He's been grown up and raised in the jungles of Africa. And Eden, he finds Eden very beautiful and he starts to like her, but he doesn't understand what it is to like her. And so he sort of has to have his own feelings explained to him, but he very much wants to protect her, wants to care for her, wants to be with her. And it's new for him, and it's done so well, and it's so good, and he's such a sweetie, and he just wants to do the absolute best that he can and be the absolute best that he can for Eden, and it's so cute, and he's so into her, so in love with her, and he wants her to stay with him, and it's so cute. Next one that I have is Shenanigans by Serena Bowen. I don't own this physically. This is Serena Bowen's most recent release, and this is actually a accidental marriage romance, where Neil is Neil Drake, and he is a very wealthy man. He's the heir to a fortune, but he is also a hockey player for the Brooklyn Bruisers, and his heroine's name is Charlie, and she plays for the women's hockey team that practices and plays in the Bruisers facility. And Charlie comes from a lot harder beginnings than Drake does. She doesn't have a lot of family. She comes from poverty. She grew up on scholarships, and she's had a very hard past, hard childhood. But they both become professional hockey players, and they are friends. But Drake has a crush on Charlie. He's really into her, and he just doesn't know how to ask her out, doesn't know how to progress their friendship into what he wants. And they go to Vegas for a award ceremony with both their teams, and they get very drunk and they get married. And Charlie wants to annul the marriage or divorce very quickly. She doesn't want to be married. But Drake needs to stay married for a family reasons, and he asks Charlie if she'll stay married to him, but he also likes her, and he's like, oh my gosh, we're married now, she's my wife. And he's like, this is what it's what he's been wanting, but he also doesn't want to do anything that'll make Charlie uncomfortable. So even though he is perfectly happy being married to her, she freaks out, and he's very focused on making sure that she is comfortable and okay with what's happening, and he doesn't want to push her in any way, and it's very sweet, and he does a really good job of being a very understanding and focused hero. He's very focused on her and her needs and her well-being, and I think that's very Serena Bowen. A lot of her heroes are like that. Next one that I have is, if I can reach it, The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This is a new adult college hockey romance, and this one follows Garrett Graham, who is like big man hockey on campus, and Hannah Wells, who is a music student. Hannah and Garrett, I think they get paired for a they're in a class together and they get paired for a project, but Hannah has trouble with intimacy and sexual situations due to a sexual assault that occurred when she was in high school, and so she enlists Garrett's help to become more comfortable with that, and Garrett and her develop a relationship from that. But Garrett is very protective of Hannah. He becomes very concerned for her well-being, very attentive to her and not wanting to push her too hard or too far, and not wanting to make her uncomfortable in any way. And he becomes very in tune with her feelings, and he wants her. That's basically what it is. He wants her, and he is so sweet. Their relationship is amazing. I really love this book, and he really has to, in this book, has to convince Hannah that she is the one that he wants more with her, that he doesn't just want to pretend anymore, that he doesn't want to just be practicing with her, but that he wants to be with her. It's so cute. Last one that I have is The Forbidden Man by Karina Halley. This one is a sports romance. Also, it is about a woman who is named Talia, and she is a physical therapist, sports physical therapist, and she becomes the sports physical therapist for Real Madrid's soccer team, and she has a relationship with one of the players named Alejo. He is younger than her. It is an older woman, younger man romance. It's wonderful, and he is so into her, and she is trying to hold back because she's had a bad experience with dating someone at work before, and also because she's older, also because they are at work and she doesn't want to become, it's like against the rules, so it's forbidden. And Alejo wants her, and he pursues her, and he finds her so incredibly attractive, and he desires her so deeply. And Talia really needs it. She's recently gone through a divorce. She is in her 40s, I believe, and she just is having trouble feeling beautiful, basically, and feeling like she's desirable, I guess. And Alejo makes it very known to her that he wants her, and he likes her, and he desires her, and he wants a relationship with her, and it's so cute. Their relationship in this one is very passionate, and Alejo is such a good hero, and he wants her so much, and it's so sexy, and I love it so much. But that is all of them that I was going to mention in this video. Again, this is one of my favorite things. I think it's just like, these kind of heroes are just who, they know what they want, and they go after their heroines with such emotion and such fervor, and I think it's so sexy and so sweet, and I love it so much. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have any recommendations for another book with this same trope. Is this a trope? I don't know. The same element. But that's it for this video. So please subscribe so you can see me in more videos, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.